Hi. This shir, like all of the shir of Naleh, is given in memory of Rachelea Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. It should be an aliyah for her neshama, and she should be Melitz Yosher for all of you listeners. What we're going to be talking about today is arguably one of the most difficult challenges that parents have, which is teaching siblings to appreciate each other. So everybody has read an article or two on sibling rivalry. And when we look at all of the stories in chinuch, there aren't that many stories about siblings who had perfect relationships with each other. We have Cain and Hevel, and we have Yaakov and Esav, and we have Yitzchak and Yishmael, and even some of the other pairs which weren't as disastrous as these were complex. Shimon and Levi are complex in terms of whether their relationship was good or not. Avraham and his two brothers, Nachor and Haran, it's a complex story. So the question is, what's the relationship of siblings supposed to be like, and what we could do as parents to foster appropriate relationships between siblings. So starting about what is it supposed to look like? What are we aiming towards? So in Shir HaShirim, we have different attributes that are attributes of Hashem and attributes of the Jewish people that are used in the allegory. So one of them is the allegory of the sibling. Okay, more than once the Jewish people are referred to as Achoti, my sister. Achoti, Yonati, Tamati. So what does that mean? How could Hashem call us in any way his sister? So the idea is the perfected relationship of siblings is one in which they see each other as each other's mirrors, so to speak. So there's a certain sort of balance, a certain level of equality. So in the case of Hashem and the Jewish people, it means he wants to see his midos when he looks at us. So that's the idea of Achoti, you're my sister, you're like me. Okay, so children are different. They're different ages, sometimes different sexes, certainly different personalities, sometimes have different life circumstances. So how could you give them this feeling of we're alike, we're together, we're one, when they're not one? That's one issue. Another issue is that everybody is born with the feeling that the whole world was created for me. So this isn't a statement of ego. This isn't like a terribly egocentric person thinks the world was created for them. No, it's an inherent, intuitive way of thinking. So if you think that the world was created for you, where is that supposed to take you? We know where it could take you. It could take you to unbridled egotism. But where is it supposed to take you? So the answer is it should take you to feeling like I'm in charge of the world. I'm responsible for the world. I have to take this on. So, like all things that are holy, this energy could easily be misdirected. How could it be misdirected? Instead of the person saying, I'm responsible for the world, they could say, everything in the world should belong to me. I'm the center. Everything should have a relationship to me. So in children in a family, this plays out with this, that child A doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand why everything doesn't circle around him, why these other stars in the sky, his siblings, seem to be almost as important or equally as important, or to his mind even more important. So those are the issues. Now to complicate these issues, of course, if it wasn't complicated enough, children really have different needs. So if you decide to be the kind of parent who gives every child the same thing, you're in trouble because they don't all need the same thing. So with that in mind, let's talk about how we could make the relationship positive. So as always, we're going to start with very young children. With very young children, the sibling issues are much less severe than they are with older children. If a 1.5-year-old suddenly wakes up one morning and discovers a brand new sibling, he won't remember in a few short months that there was a time that sibling ever wasn't there. The sibling will be part of his inherent sense of reality. So that's much easier, but there are nonetheless difficulties. What are the difficulties? So the first difficulty is that a single child, whether it's a first child or an only child up until that point, a single child is used to being the sole recipient of the parent's attention. So when a new baby comes, they have to share the parent. Now telling the parent, telling the child, I love you and I love the baby. I love you and I love the baby. Imagine if your husband came home with another woman and said, I love you and I love Lorita. I love you.